I'm coming to you on Thursday instead of Friday because it's the eve of a very important report and prayers are needed. Tomorrow morning, we will get the numbers on personal consumption expenditures. Many of you have heard, at least from me, if not from many others, that this is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation. PCE is kind of like a giant receipt on everything Americans buy. It tracks how much money we spend on goods and services, so tomorrow we'll find out where Americans were spending their hard-earned money in May. When people are spending freely, it means that businesses are thriving, and that means the economy is doing just swell. When the PCE report starts to show that spending has slowed, it's taken as an economic indicator of rough times ahead. The Fed uses the inflation tracker within this report to understand how inflation is impacting both businesses and the consumer. We can assess consumer behavior through their spending habits, right? So here we sit on the eve of PCE. PCE Eve. Anyways, it's a big deal, one way or another, whatever we call it. And the markets are expecting core PCE to be at its lowest level since March of 2021. It's hopeful. We, in that hopefulness, are hoping of a reading of 2.6% year over year. This could pave the way for a rate cut later this very year, especially because the Consumer Price Index released earlier this month already suggested a real, and by real I mean genuine, not major, slowdown in inflation. Since this particular reading will have major implications on the Fed's monetary policy, it's likely to be market moving tomorrow. Say your prayers tonight, my friends, if you aren't too busy watching the presidential debate. I bet the candidates will have the inside scoop on what PCE is going into that debate. So I will be sitting there reading between the lines on what they're not saying to try to catch a clue. The labor market is also likely to come up tonight as continuing claims for unemployment are at almost 2 million, the highest since November of 2021. Continuing claims being up means that when an American worker is laid off, it's taking them longer to find a new job. But Biden is likely to tout that the U.S. economy is still expanding. The final numbers on GDP for Q1, final reading, showed growth of 1.4% for the U.S. economy. But Trump is going to counter that by saying that a lot of that is coming from government spending. Now, before we get too political here, let's just switch gears completely and talk about some announcements and reminders. Please use the link below to register for Pickleball Promenade. It's sure to be the most talked about event of the season. Plus, we're raising money for a great cause. Just be sure you wear your country club finest tennis attire because pickleball is just like tennis if you're out of the loop. So if you're confused about what to wear, think tennis clothes, but fancy. The entire ton will be there. Property pursuits will not be happening the first Wednesday of July because I will be up at the lake. Happy birthday, America. So join us on July 10th instead for this month's market update. And lastly, if you're a hard-working realtor or local loan officer here creeping, feeling down on the market, feeling down on business, or feeling down on life, I have some connections and opportunities for you. So get in touch with me. Help me help you.